Okay, team, thanks for joining me today. I was asked to do a video on vertical lip lines and particularly a home device that can be used for these lip lines because, many people go into clinics and pay, of course, a lot of money to have this done. And vertical lip lines are an aging feature. And one thing I've used for a long time in clinic is RF energy. And the person that commented in the community section said, hey, I've been using the Newa RF and I get plumping in my lips. Is that possible? And I will direct you to a video that I did 3 or 4 years ago on a procedure that we've been doing for about 10 years now, which is radio frequency to enlarge the lip for people that don't want filler or injections done. Let's start by talking a little bit about filler and Botox. I'll go into a little bit of anatomy. Then I'll use the device on the mouth area to show you exactly how I do it. And at the end, I'll go through 3 or 4 treatments that don't involve injections that you can do at home to get rid of these lines. And if you don't have a device like this. Here's a patient of mine who just had RF energy just to rejuvenate the lip. You can see it's not filler, but it's a natural look. You do get more redness. It helps with the fine lines along the lips, and it just gives a more plumping effect. Of course, if you want bigger and more rejuvenated, you just add more treatment sessions. The Newa Plus is the one I use. It's the cordless version. It's the latest one. Actually, I have a special program I'm able to offer you guys today. If you're interested, you get a free YOUTHFUL Lipo Filling Cream, a $285 value. If you're interested in these, the last time we did something like this was the lip enhancers a few weeks ago, and we sold out within 8 hours. But I have a few hundred of these I can offer at that. I'll leave the coupon code in the more info section below this video and also pin it to the top of the comments. Now, the first thing to understand is these lip lines come because of the intrinsic aging of collagen loss. You want to, of course, minimize that. You want to minimize your external factors, meaning sun exposure, pollutants. But here's the one thing. If you watch particularly postmenopausal females, they'll often be moving their mouth like that. Just kind of pursing the lips in between conversation while they're sitting there, maybe while they're sipping a glass maybe of wine, and then they put it down and they'll still be pursing the lips. Why is that? It's because of bone loss around the front of the skull area we call the piriform aperture, or the area in the front where the nose lies. Just think of it that way. And the changing angle of the bones around the mouth. And that's why a lot of people go get lip lifts because of the elongation of that upper lip. So it's collagen loss. It's a little bit of fat loss. It's changes in bone and muscle. The muscle becomes stronger. Why? It's because there's loss of support from the fat in the bone. So it's multifactorial, as we say. Let's look at the lip anatomy in a minute. And remember, you can skip sections of this video if you don't want to watch certain sections or you're bored by what I'm saying in the chapters below. Just hover below and I've put chapters in here if you want to go right to the treatment or right to the other ancillary treatments that you can do at home for lip lines. It will be important to know anatomy so you know about fat loss in the lip. Now, I want you to look at this slide here because if you look, there's just not a lot of fat in the lip. This makes it look like there's more fat even than there is. But the lip is mainly muscle. You see the skin, and just below the skin, there's just the collagen layer. Again, it's very thin, but you see it's vascular. And that's why when we inject lips, look here, you see the inferior labial artery? That's on the mouth side of the picture. So the mouth would be to the left of where you're seeing, and the skin on the right is the outside, out here. The lip artery is usually on the inside. That's why you never do deep lip injections or you can lose part of your lip with filler, that inferior labial artery. Same thing with the superior labial artery on the top lip. This is the bottom lip. So you see, what are we trying to do here? Preserve your fat. Look at that collagen layer. We're trying to get your collagen layer optimized, but we're increasing blood flow with the RF. That's what you're doing. You're making a healthy environment. And that's why so many people using a device like RF or Newa particularly for the upper lip, vertical lip lines, they see a very nice, subtle redness improvement in redness of the lip because red attracts and red is youthful, but they also see a little plumpness of that mucous membrane. You get more blood flow, more collagen, and a healthier environment to the tissues because what does blood do? It removes oxidation and it brings your stem cells that are in your body already, your secretomes, as we call them, to help rejuvenate the area. So we need to know the anatomy. Bottom line here, lip is mostly muscle and blood flow. Okay, so let's go through the vertical lip line and lip plumping treatment with the Newa RF device. And I apologize again, I'm your model today. I don't have a pretty nice model for you to see. Now, here's the device. On the side here is low and high, so I put it to the low setting. Now, this heats up and it has safety mechanisms built in so that it's not going to go beyond an external temperature of 42 degrees C. The reason is, as you start to go higher, you risk some fat loss, face fat loss, or wherever you put it. So we don't want that. The other thing is you have to keep it moving for it to work. And those are key parameters to know. And this device does take some knowledge, some learning. You want to use it in the mirror for a while first to get your strokes down. I made a complete playlist. It's robust. It's on this channel. And you can watch many videos on different aspects of this. But to turn it on, first thing I'm going to do is put it on the low setting. So it's off. One setting up is low. The blue light is going to come on. Now, this goes in 4-minute cycles. So I'm going to, before I click here to start it, I'm going to put some gel on here. And the idea is you have to warm it up. And when it hits max temperature, this light will turn green. I believe you can see that there. But it can go between blue and green. You're going to feel the heat with blue. So don't perseverate over the fact that it's not green all the time. Mine probably, when I'm doing my treatment, I do about 6-7 minutes 3 times a week overall. I am in the blue half the time, maybe. I'm still getting a lot of heat. But once you put the gel on the top, and you have to be generous with your gel, click the button, and that starts your 4-minute cycle. Now you see it flash. I think you can see all that. Okay, great. That helped a little maybe. Okay, you see it flash blue. Now what I do is I'm going to use it at the downturned mouth right here for a minute, and just to heat it up. So if I keep it moving small circles, I'll see if you can see light. Now I feel it warm already. So that's warm. In the Goopy product, it's coming down here. I can feel a little bit. I just put on my finger. In the mirror, you're more precise, but that's warm right now. Let me get it to green. I can just see through the corner of my eye that it's still blue. But if I just keep moving, it feels nice and warm. That's really all the heat I need. But you can see because I'm talking a little bit, and I'm not keeping it square to my face, now it will turn green. Yep, there it goes green. Because I was tilted. I was on an angle. You have to be square. So that all these electrodes are touching because the energy is going from these electrodes back and forth. So it has to be square. What I mean by that is not on a tilt. And I got to be moving. So now it's warm. I feel it. Now I'm going to move. Now this is going to be tricky. I'm going to put some gel here. Sorry, this is kind of unusual to do, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it now that the device is warm. How quick it heats up is going to depend on my ambient temperature, so the temperature of my room and my skin, therefore. If I just get out of a hot shower, it will turn warm and green quicker. And then big circles, it will take longer to go to green. Smaller area, which you're going to do with the lip, it will turn to green quicker and be hotter. Now, the lip is sensitive. I'm going to get there in a minute. I'm not going there because I'm talking, but I have to tell you the lip is sensitive. And there's green. And because of that, I'm going to come off and on the lip. When we do lip fillers, way back in the day, 25 years ago, yes, I'm a dinosaur, old school, old. Lidocaine never came in the fillers. So I used to do dental blocks for everyone. And the lip is the most sensitive area because nerves come from both sides. So now let's go to the lip and lip line. So what I'll do here, it's warm. And now I'm doing tiny circles above the lip. The vermilion border, it's green, by the way, look. There you go, it's green. And that's all I want. I'm on the low setting, remember, and it's warm. And I can get the vermilion border if I want plumping. And if it gets too hot, I just come off for a second and it will turn blue. See, it was quite hot. It's still green. And it will turn blue. And And then I go at the border, the vermilion border. And if it gets too warm, I'm going to do larger circles. But I do one side at a time. So this is my right side. I'm just going to do that at the vermilion border. And if I wanted bigger lips, you could go on the mucous membrane itself. And it gets warm, you just come off. You don't need, it's sensitive. Like I said, you don't need to be on there the whole time. But I am in the green. And I'm going to go up higher for the vertical lip lines. And then I can come to the other side because I have gel and I put a little on my finger that was dripping down. I'll put the gel there and then I'm going to work this side and it's warm. Now, if I stop moving, the heat will stop. You have to keep moving it. So smaller circles. Remember, it gets too hot, go to bigger circles. Go above the lip where the lip lines are. Maybe you don't want bigger lips. But we lose lip size from the age of 24, 23. So most people want a little bigger lip. So now I'm on the lip itself. Okay, back and forth. And a little bigger circles because it's getting hot. It just buzzed and it turned blue. That means it's the end of 4-minute cycle. Now I was down here for about 2 minutes. So I did 2 minutes on the lip. That's how I would start. I would only do 1 minute and 1 minute when you're starting this. I'm going to go again because I want to show you go from blue. I'll get small circles and I'll show you how, there you go. We're already at green. Remember, it's on the low setting. Okay. So you can go back and forth because if it gets too hot here, now go to the right side. So there's a lot of leeway here and you can go up higher near the nose. Because what you're trying to do here is build collagen. This denatures the protein. As the protein denatures and it builds back, you get more collagen. Remember a couple key things with the lip. A youthful lip. Sorry, I probably got stuff all over my face here. Terrible model. A youthful lip has a tilted vermilion border. So it has a ski slope kind of at the end. You remember the guy, the British guy, Eddie the Eagle. Remember him going off the ski jump? Eddie the Eagle, Olympics. I'm going to say, see if I'm right here, you guys. 88 Olympics in Calgary, Canada. Eddie the Eagle soaring through the sky. Maybe in 89, something like that. So you got a ski jump at the edge of the lip. Because if you look at a 24-year-old lip, it has a nice ski jump. A 54, 64, 74 or more doesn't have a ski jump. Look at your kids. Check out their lip. So that's what we're trying to create. Here's another patient who had it done. And you can see some nice subtle changes. Patients are happy with this. Some of you might say, that's not enough for me. Some would say, that's too much. You can treat to suit. Now, I don't know. You're going to have to tell me, is my lip bigger? It certainly feels warm. My buddies are going to make fun of me for this one. I do encourage you to go to my websites and submit your before and afters. We love that. So I've been using RF energy for lip lines and lip plumping for over 20 years around the mouth. And you can see as evidenced by my videos. I'm not just talking about the treatments. I do this every day in real life with real people in a real clinic. Be careful who you follow. A lot of board certified XYZ, chiropractor XYZ, they don't see patients. And I think that's the ultimate. If you're going to get your information, try and get it from people who are seeing patients and doing this every day. That's the ultimate test of their knowledge and skill. So that shows you what I do and how I use the Newa device there. What are good things to do with the Newa that aren't injections? Think of a great lip enhancer. In mine, there are many out there, use whichever one you like. In mine, you get an immediate plumping, but I also put peptides in there for longer term plumping, increase better coloration, so redness or reddish tint. And I added a retinol, not just any retinol, but one that's made that's timed release for the lip. Because what do retinols do? Of course, they help support and build collagen. They help exfoliate, in a sense, a little bit. And they rejuvenate the area because a lot of people get superficial lip lines that are aging. And of course, using retinols on the skin above and below the mucous membrane helps reduce fine lines and wrinkles and rejuvenates the skin. So retinols are an important part of that. On to skincare, of course, you can use skincare retinols. and peel pads work well here. Just don't hammer it. You don't want a lot of inflammation. And you can even do chemical peels around the mouth. If you have deeper lip lines, for sure, a combination peel with things like a TCA, glycolic. A lot of peels have retinol in them. Tretinoin really would be in that peel, and a small amount of TCA. So combination peel around the mouth, do a couple of those a year. But sometimes you just need a little more volume. It's not just all about skin. So a little bit of filler or a little bit of RF will give you that bit of volume along with a peel. Now, inexpensive solutions in terms of face oils, people will comment, and you can comment below. People will notice almond oil. Castor oil would be another one, a thicker one. Just for around the lip lines, even a thick one that might be comedogenic on the full face, but around the lip they tolerated, coconut oil. But a quick word on Botox. Remember, Botox around the lip, 6 units, very easy to do, superficial injections. That just stops muscle movement. It does not build collagen or help your fat pads or restore, well, it will restore the vermilion border or that youthful angle, but it's short term because you can't hammer that with a big dose or you won't be able to talk. So it's just 6 units. It's going to last you about 6 weeks. Number 2, filler. Very easy to do for vertical lip lines. You just put an opening here, opening here. You can watch all my videos on that. I use a micro cannula. You hardly feel it. But a lot of people don't want filler, and you can't do too much filler up at the border, above the border, or you'll start looking unusual. But the beautiful thing with this device that only goes to maximum of 42 degrees external temperature, is that it won't melt your filler. I have the ability to go to filler factories around the world where they make products like Restylane, many of them in Asia, and they autoclave or really heat these fillers before they leave the factory. It won't melt it. Don't worry. Same goes for your facial threads. So you can use RF with these. Well, why would you use RF? Because it helps restore collagen. It does help that vermilion border, and as I think I'll link at the end, my radio frequency treatment I've done for so many years in my clinic to help plump the lips. It's called Plump RF, Plump Radio Frequency. So you can see a bunch of before and afters when you watch that video too. Now, I promised you that video on Plump RF if you want to see that I've been using RF for a long time around the lip area. And one down here all about LED and red light, because that plays an important role, especially for the bone, because a lot of LED masks have near infrared in them as well. Keep your skin and body beautiful, healthy, and vibrant.